My name's Nico Backman, and I just finished my post-grad year at SPIRE Academy. So the way I found SPIRE Academy is after I tore my meniscus, me and my father were looking for other options than directly going to college. So whether that be JUCO, we started looking more into prep years. So we were looking at other prep schools. We found out about SPIRE through online research, and we took a visit out here, and I just fell in love with it. My athletic background when I was growing up, I played all sorts of sports. I was put into kids soccer when I was like 6. I wrestled, I played baseball, I did swimming, I ran track my junior year, I played football all throughout high school, and the one that I just fell in love with the most happened to be track. So my junior year, I was the kicker for my high school football team, and my kicking coach told me that I needed to hurdle so that it would help with my kickoffs. And indoor season, I did hurdles for the first time and wasn't a big fan of it, but grew to love it. And by the end of the season, I made it all the way to states. So I thought maybe I could have a bit of a future with this sport. And then in the outdoor season, I made it to nationals, and that really opened my eyes that I could go somewhere with this. Senior year, I tore my meniscus, not allowing me to have that, senior season of track, which is what I needed. So that's why I came to SPIRE. SPIRE would be the first time I lived away from home. I was a big homebody, big mama's boy. So it was a hard time to get away from her and my family, but it was good for me. SPIRE is a very diverse place. There's people from all over the world, and it really creates like a sense of family. We're all coming to one place with one goal in mind, and that's make it to the next level. And no matter where you're from, you can grow with your teammates, with your people, and you create a sense of family. And me personally, I lived in a house full of Canadians. There was only one other American, and we might have not thought we would get along, but by the end of the year, I would consider some of those guys my best friends. The way that SPIRE helped me prepare for the next level is with the post-grad program. It's nothing like you've ever seen before. It's not like your typical high school or boarding school. So just to have the balance with all the things that you have to do, whether that be classes, 3 practices a day, extra workouts, just to push yourself to the next level. These are things you can only find at SPIRE, and it really has just benefited me in a great way so that I'll be prepared when I'm a student athlete next year. Being a part of the track and field program at SPIRE was something special. I'd like to think it was way different than any other sport. We were, I'd say, one of the more elite sports. We've had national champions, All-Americans, countless of them, and we have some great coaches, gold medalists, silver medalists, some other people who are really climbing the ranks and have great experience, and they were able to put their experiences into us and create probably one of the best teams on campus. So what the decathlon is, it's not like any other track event. It's a 2-day competition with 10 events, and you do 5 events each day. Those being the 100, long jump, shot put, high jump 400. Day 2 is the 110 hurdles, discus, pole vault, javelin, and it ends with a 1500, so pretty much a mile. And it's not really about you have to be a star at one. It's just about being well balanced, keeping your head on your shoulders, not letting other events affect you, and just performing and doing what you can. The track and field facilities at SPIRE truly are incredible. We've hosted some crazy meets, the Big Ten Championship, the D3 Nationals. So just to familiarize yourself with this type of facilities and get ready for the next level, I won't be shell-shocked next year. I'll be used to the big stage. I'll be used to the bright lights, and it helps you get ready. Coach Mack has helped a lot with my journey. He was my pole vault coach, and this was my first year doing pole vault. So we had some exciting moments with that, and he really was able to just stay calm and help me get what needed to be done. And, we grew a lot in that event, and I'm excited for it. Coach Kerron, that's my girl. She's truly a wonderful person, and she gave me a sense of home, being so far away and coming to practice and working hard for her, just so you could hear that good job. It truly means a lot. Having an Olympic coach isn't like anything you could think of. These are the top 0.1% of athletes, these are what we dream of, they have accomplished. So to see their mindset, their determination, getting after it every day and coaching us, that really motivates you, and it just gets you ready for what you need to do to accomplish what you want. Coach Larkin, he knows what he's doing. He's been in the game for a long time at all different levels, and he's been around some great people, and he has great knowledge. And he was able to give me some of that, and you know, he was another part that was just a sense of home. And you know, we'd have good conversations, and it was always engaging, and he always makes you feel appreciated when he talks to you. Coach Liv, she's a great woman. She's accomplished a lot in her track career. Her being one of the few only multis, she gave me sort of a blueprint to follow, and she was able to help me at track meets. You know, decathletes are a long feat, so she'd sit out there with me for 5 hours in the sun, and then we'd come back the next day and we'd do another 6-hour day. And she was there. She'd have the experience of tens of decathlons and heptathlons, and she knew what to do. And just for her guidance to give me that, it truly, like, I would not be where I was without her. Competing at U20s was truly an incredible experience. I was around some of the best college athletes in the world. These were the best of the best, and just to be in their presence is truly something remarkable. Watching these kids do their marks and their world-class events, you know, it was amazing, and it really just motivated me more that hopefully one day, like, I will be on their level. That was always my dream, no matter the sport. From when I was younger, my older sister, who was a huge inspiration to me, she played Division I field hockey. And just to watch her do what she did and accomplish what she has, it motivated me. So no matter the sport, I always wanted to compete collegiately, and that just happened to be within the sport of track. Rehabbing from an injury is not an easy task. You know, there's a lot of isolation, there's a lot of self-doubt in that journey, and you have some great facilities and people here. Coach Liv, Coach Bobby, you know, they were able to help me, the athletic trainers, just coming back from that type of an injury, a meniscus tear, and still being able to do what I did. Part of it is part of me, but the great people around here really helped that process. So some of the challenges that I faced in my post-grad year was being a year behind from all my friends. It would be a Friday night, I just finished a hard workout, I feel terrible, I'm gonna go get into a tub of water that's 30 degrees to rehab and get back at it tomorrow. And I'm looking at my friends and all their social medias, and I'm watching them go out and have fun and meet new people. There were times where it got hard, but I saw, you know, the goal at the end of the tunnel, and now I'm a Division I athlete, so it worked out. The part I'm most excited about with competing at Rutgers is just being at that big stage, the next level. It was my dream to be a Division I athlete, and I've made it to a Power 4 conference, you know, one of the biggest stages in the world, and I'll be competing against world-class athletes, and I'm just excited for that. Some people that helped me in my journey at Spire were some of my roommates, you know, Liam Miller, Liam Luzza, Zach Wright, Rowan Edwards, Kaylin, Paul, you know, those were my guys. And I'd have hard days, but to come back to them, and they'd always make me laugh and put a smile on my face. It made it a lot easier. And I had some great teammates. We'll give a big shout out to Cuba. You know, he made it exciting. And practice was always more enjoyable when I was working with him, and we were having competitions and laughing. And, you know, Santino, that's my guy. I love that guy. It's no easy task to be a Spire student athlete. It's a very long days, very hard journey, but you know, these are the sacrifices you have to take if you want to accomplish your goals. So if you're willing to make the sacrifice of pretty much a year of very hard work, it can work out. You know, with the right mindset and right work ethic, you can make some great things happen here. Next year, I'll be working under Corey Crawford, the jumps coach at Rutgers. And he trained here for a little bit. He was a long jumper, quite an accomplished one as well, 27 feet. So he knows what he's doing. I'm excited to work with him. And we were able to bond very quickly about that Spire process. You know, with him having experiences here and me having similar, you know, it made that first step just easier. And I'm excited to get to work with him. Do I have a favorite memory of Spire Academy? I'm gonna say it was one of the first few indoor meets. It was a hurdles race. It was me in the middle, Kellen to my right, and Cuba to my left. And you know, we were talking smack all year, and we were all excited to get to finally show, like, you know, with the school, what we could accomplish. And it was just a great experience to race my friends and my teammates.
one?
Me.
Who got second?
That'd be Kerron. Keep a roll in the third. Some of the best advice that I got from the SPIRE coaches here at SPIRE Academy is that if you put your mind to something, you can accomplish it. And that was just a big part of growing here and learning about myself, is that it was a hard task to do what, athletes do here, but they help you realize that if you focus and if you work hard every day, it can happen. I would definitely say that I accomplished what I was set out to go here for. I wanted to compete at the Division I level. I didn't know where in that. I didn't know if it was going to be near the bottom or near the top. I set out to compete at that big stage, and I made it. And I, for some reason, made the task way harder than I had to do. I chose to become a decathlete. It was my first year doing it. I had to learn 8 new events. And not only did I want to compete at the Division I level, I wanted to be a successful decathlete, which I say I accomplished. I just want to say thank you to my family, for believing me, allowing me to take this post-grad year and accomplish what I wanted. And without them, I wouldn't have been able to come here. I wouldn't have been able to do what I did. The friends here I made, hopefully friends for life, and I met some great people. The biggest part is I want to thank my coaches. I did not make their jobs easy. I made it very hard, but they stuck with me and they believed in me, and we accomplished some great things.